Have you ever sat down to write and wondered, should I outline first, or just start writing? It's one of the oldest creative crossroads there is. Some writers can't imagine beginning without a detailed roadmap. Others feel like the story only reveals itself once their fingers start moving. So which is right? Well, that's the beautiful part. They both are. Today, I want to explore this question, not as a debate, but as an honest reflection on how different writers find their way through the fog of a story. I'll share some thoughts from professional writers who weighed in, a few lessons from my own experience, and a creative challenge that might help you discover your own process. Let's start with outlining, the structure first approach. One writer put it perfectly. Outlines are the measure twice, cut once of writing. That's such a great metaphor. In screenwriting, every page you write takes time, energy, and emotion. And when you're deep into a story, those costs can add up quickly. Outlining gives you a chance to solve the big problems before you're 50 pages in. Another writer shared, some of the reasons why I outline. Fewer rewrites because I've solved story problems at the outline stage and to have pacing built into the story instead of an afterthought. And then there's this perspective, from someone who's seen the process from the inside. He said, former director of development for Jerry Bruckheimer films here. Every proscript starts with an outline. You've got to work out your story at some point. It's just more practical to solve those issues before you sit down and write the entire screenplay. That's the heart of it, right? It's not that outlining limits creativity, it saves it. It creates a structure strong enough to hold everything you want to say. And in the professional world, this matters. If you're writing for studios or producers, you'll almost always need to deliver a treatment, or beat sheet outline, before a single scene is written. So learning to think in outlines early on is like learning a language, one that makes collaboration possible. But outlining isn't just practical, it can be inspiring. It lets you see the story breathe, how each choice echoes forward. When I outline, I'm not writing scenes. I'm discovering relationships, between cause and effect, between character and theme. It's like watching the skeleton form before you add the muscle and skin. But some writers hear the word outline and feel the oxygen leave the room. For them, story isn't something to map, it's something to find. One writer said simply, for me, it's just know the ending. Another shared, I wrote my last screenplay without any outline. It can be difficult, but freeing. And another, a loose outline is a must. Leave yourself room to color however you'd like inside the lines. There's a quiet beauty in that approach. Discovery writing can feel like a real-time conversation with your imagination. You don't start with answers, you start with curiosity. And that curiosity can lead you places you never could have planned. The Coen brothers, for example, are often mentioned as writers who don't rigidly outline their scripts. They follow tone, instinct, and rhythm, trusting that the story will reveal itself as they go. But here's the key. Even discovery writers usually have a mental outline. They may not know every beat, but they know the emotional destination. They have a compass, not a map. And that's enough. Because sometimes too much structure early on can make the story feel clinical. You can't always logic your way into inspiration. Sometimes you have to write your way there.
A super quick movie recommendation of the week.
Tommy, you can't do this! You don't bump guys!
Today's script glossary term is beat sheet, the flexible spine of your story. A beat sheet breaks your screenplay into key story moments, emotional or plot-based, often 8 to 15 in total. It's not a rulebook, it's a rhythm map. Think of it like musical beats. It's less about dictating what happens and more about keeping your story's emotional tempo.
Creative challenge time.
So here's a challenge for you. Try summarizing your story, whatever you're working on, in 8 beats or less. Not scenes, not dialogue, just the emotional backbone. Who are we following? What changes for them? Where does the story truly turn? You might be surprised how focusing on those 8 beats brings everything into focus, whether you're an outliner or a discoverer. Because in the end, both paths are really chasing the same thing: clarity. Outliners seek clarity before the page. Discoverers seek clarity through the page. Either way, it's about finding your rhythm, that point where structure and spontaneity start to work together. No one cares how you got there, only that you did. So, what about you? Do you outline, or just write, or maybe a mix of both? Drop your process in the comments. I'd love to read your take, and maybe we'll feature a few in a future video. If this video inspired you, consider subscribing. You know the drill. It really helps this growing community reach more writers like you. And if you'd like to support the Pensive Writer further, check out my Etsy store, where I've got some fun screenwriting-inspired apparel and gifts. Oh, and if you're working on a film and need help presenting it, I also offer professional pitch deck creation services. You can find links to both below. Most importantly, keep writing. Don't wait to be ready. Don't wait to be perfect. Just start. Because your first screenplay isn't the end of something. It's the beginning of you. I'm Nick, and this is the Pensive Writer.